Hello, sir.
Yeah, hi.
Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, nice.
This is a
Happy,
trial run.
happy to be with you today.
Thank you, sir.
Let's go with it. What is the purpose of your podcast in the recent days?
In the recent days, I have always wanted to. I am always curious about people's stories because everyone has their own experiences and they have different ways of telling it. Even if they have the same experience, they have multiple ways of telling it. So everyone has a story. So
Yeah, I do have few stories,
yes, sir.
few experiences.
Yes, sir.
Definitely, I would love to share with you and your followers.
First, I would like to ask you how did it come to be? You were a photographer and a journalist. How was the journey towards becoming an editor of newspapers?
Yeah, this interesting world, journalism,
Yes, sir.
was never in my dream or anything when I was in school or college.
Okay, sir.
I in that seventh standard, eighth standard phase,
Yes, sir.
I loved reading books, comics, Perry Mason, List MacLean. Now, if I open such books, I go to sleep. But school days, I had a thrill of reading a book, and even kids' books like Enid Blyton. So it just took me across everything by 12th standard. I was first plus two batch, and then in my college, I had with school my course I was in was maths, physics, chemistry, and commerce.
Okay.
So my friends, they were all, oh no science, they were happy. But this commerce was never a thrill for them. For me, reading commerce, those forming a company and all these things was actually very interesting
Entrepreneurship.
because reading was my, I don't know, which pushed me, and I was able to score good mark even in the school level because I was reading it thoroughly, enjoying it, and all that stuff. Then, of course, my science, I was into BSc physics,
Yes, sir.
and on completion,
Yes, sir.
I didn't come here
Hmm.
to the journalism world. I was with a printing press.
Okay.
That was 83 for more than 3 years. I was there. So what I was doing there is proofreading.
Okay.
So we were doing work for Madras University correspondence course.
Oh.
So there they had multi various departments: English literature, history, philosophy, and all these things needed a very thorough and a detailed editing, proofreading. For me, I don't mind reading it thrice. Some of that were concepts were absolutely impossible for me to grasp. But reading it twice or thrice was not something which I was thrown away. So with this experience, the Madras University correspondence course, there were some people there who were very friendly with me. They said, "Sir, we will give this to some other printers, composers. They come out with something very, very bad. Their proofreading is not that good." And they themselves, the department was also making mistakes.
Okay.
They were not reading it detailed. I didn't mind it. So I was doing some job work for them. And then this actually the Makkal Quran at that time news today. We had a big job work division,
Okay.
printing and composing. And, those days it was lead composing, not this PTP system as what we see in this world. So I came here for proofreading.
Proofreading. Okay.
My uncles were here and all that. So my paternal uncle was the founder of this organization.
Okay.
So Makkal Kural editor, MS. So once these people were seeing my ability and my eagerness to continuously sit and read for 3 4 hours. One day I just was reading something and went to sleep. So they woke me up. It was around 6 o'clock. I must have gone to sleep by 4:30.
Okay.
So I was asked to do one thing. You didn't have proper evening tiffin or anything. You go with them. So one journalist was there. He is going to a function. There was one clip 3 camera, small camera. They gave it to me. You take 1 or 2 photographs, have your dinner, they'll be giving something or other, and go home.
Okay.
Actually, this is how I came jumped into this world. But of course, my reading skill was one of the main reasons. I went there to have a nice it's Kanimara Hotel. Those
Yes,
days,
sir.
not much star hotels, so this function was it was a bank function in Indian Overseas Bank. They had some beneficiaries. They're
Yes,
handing
sir.
over some assistance way back in 1986.
Okay, sir.
So, but that was my first function. So I took 4 or 5 pictures. Only two had come out,
Oh.
and the other were not that good. I did have a nice dinner. So came back home. Next day morning early I came here before other people could come. I there was one studio nearby even it's in Kodamakam. So I gave it to him. I asked him that I need this picture. So said you come in the morning next day.
Okay.
No, no, no. I wanted in half an hour. Said that there is no such system. And then we discussed and said it's for a newspaper purpose. Today evening I have to publish. Please help me. So he did help me, and there are two pictures. I came by the time the entire office staff, editorial desk, everyone was there.
Yeah.
So I just walked in and showed them the picture. And one of that picture was really, really nice. Even today, I'll be very proud that it's my
Yes,
first
sir.
picture. The general manager, the Indian Overseas Bank chairman, and few other officers were there, smilingly handing over some beneficiary stuff, something like that.
Right.
So and the receiver was, that happiness he showed was there in the picture. So now I am relating all that or telling you about that.
Yes, sir.
That same feeling because the picture showed that much emotion, and I was thrilled. It was like reading some big book, and I was a favorite.
After that, that's how you got into photography?
Yeah, no, my office got into me. Office said, we want another photo like this coming week.
Okay.
So one or two functions later on, one of them was a film function, and I had a lot of downfalls in the initial stage. I didn't know how to develop it and learn the art of developing, and then actually printing the pictures all in black and white those days. So by the time I learned and was very comfortable. So from the printing press, I was just upgraded myself to newspaper world as proofreader and a photographer. And then office thought it fit that I should have a proper camera setup. So I got a Nikon F.04 camera. That time it used to be very one of the best versatile camera for journalists. So I got that. I didn't know how to handle it, number one. And then I slowly learned it. I went around for searching for books
Hmm.
on photography and camera and all that. And I was able to read it, but not actually get into it. Being a physics student and not understanding what is the lens, this optics, this depth, this overexposure, underexposure were all above my head. But then, about 3 or 4 months of various photographs and various, lighting, like outdoor, indoor, studio, all these things I learned. Many things had to be unlearned.
Hmm.
And then finally, I can call myself a photographer. And my journey just continued.
Right.
In between, what I did was, whenever I gave a picture to my desk, at least I will write down the names,
Hmm.
who is there and all that.
Okay.
So habitually, when I write that this person is receiving, this person is giving, or this person is cutting the ribbon and opening, all that, they have to just add few more lines. And the function by itself was a concise news.
Yes.
And then one person said, if you can write a caption for this, why don't you write 3 or 4 paragraphs?
Right.
What happened and all that. I don't know what to write. Then they explained to me like what you have written as a caption. Just see what you saw and how many people, what, who, how, all that stuff. So by the time I become confident,
Hmm.
I can write. I need not wait for the go ahead, the proof clearance. So confident. 2 3 years, I started writing. There was one function which my report was supposed to come. He didn't come.
Mm-hmm.
So I went there. It was some spinning mill in Salem.
Okay.
And that night we came back. spinning mill expansion, and they're going for some, public issue and so many other stuff for those days. Came back home. I mean, came back to Chennai by around 8:39, some evening train. And next day was Ayudha Puja.
Hmm.
I forgot that next day was a holiday.
Okay.
So came back. I came to office. I just started writing, and it was quite a big story. I had gone there to visit it, and
Yeah.
so it was fun for me, and photographs and all that. Everything was ready by around 11:30 in the late night, really late. So I finished everything, went home. Next day morning, then by 9:30 came to office. I didn't see the yesterday's paper, despite the fact that I was there.
Oh.
That holiday notice was there. Then I said, "Oh, I didn't mind it." So I again sat down in the office and then saw my own thing. And I can't type Tamil typing or anything.
Okay.
So I had the same impediment. Then I added something more later on at that time. Morning I had been to office, and so whatever I missed out, any new facts and all that. It was all in a box, because it cannot fit into the continuity of the story. So it was separate box. So next day morning, that person who had come, I had kept it where it has to be DTP, and they typed it and all that. So we saw the boxes separately. He gave some headlines for that. The entire story was ready, and he started keeping it in the page. When editor came, he was surprised. Such a big story with such boxes and pictures and all that. So he was impressed with the display.
Nice.
Then reading it, so appreciation was there because I had made sure all these components came into a story because I had time. Because I was not used to actually writing big stories or writing anything big, long article. That was one of my first stories.
Nice.
That made me confident to be in this field. And others also were confident that I can write. I mean, I can present a story. Not a very good writer. Even now, I'm just learning the art of, making other person really impressed with what he is reading. But I just made my first step. Should have been way back 1988.
88.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
So it just went on. My actual milestone in journalism started happening because 1991 Prime Minister was assassinated. I was a photographer. He was here for 13 tours every month. He would be here, and that election month, election day, the previous day he was assassinated in the street. I had followed all the 13. This 13th, the disaster tour also. So at that moment when I was in the airport, next day was a last day of campaigning. And the consequent day will be rest day, no campaign, we just calm down. And then the election. So I said, tomorrow till evening 5 o'clock the campaigns will be there. I might as well just go back home because I have Prime Minister here. He was not the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
So he had come, Rajiv Gandhi had come to Chennai airport. It was around 8:15, 8:20. So he was very relaxed and was taking a lot of photographs and to sign up for the night.
Yeah.
Then suddenly when he left to the car, some people who were there, no, Mr. MuthuKumar, come.
Okay.
So I got into the press vehicle. In fact, I had a dress because I wanted to, finally said I was so tired. I might as well go home and sleep so that after election, something happened and I was part of that tour. So next day I was supposed to go to Mailaduthurai and then come back in the night. Of course, the fateful thing happened.
You were there.
I was there. I had taken about three and a half rolls of one roll is 36 frames, so more than 150 frames. And of that scene only, not the other before and after. On the scene only, I have about 3 rolls. So that was a piece of a lot of evidences to be collated. Not the actual incident,
but the rest of it.
But they can recreate who is there, who is not here, who is there, and that kind of stuff. Because when I was called by the SIT, the Special Intelligence Task Force, which was investigating it to identify who is what, which order I had taken. I remember those days clearly. This
That's right.
entering in and
Hmm.
the blast, and a lot of people are falling in front of me, just about 3 4 feet. A couple of cops, and then approaching Rajiv Gandhi. He was upside down, and the shoe was the Loto shoe is very sort of a
Iconic.
vivid image that such a incident happened. And then when they tried to move up, lifeless, stomach things were, you know,
Right.
all that were gory scenes. So my pictures had everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how useful it was to the investigation agency, but I had a very fulfilling handling of that assignment that night. Came back around immediately. The entourage went to Rajiv Gandhi Hospital, this GH,
GH.
which was not called Rajiv Gandhi, of course.
It
At
was
that
after
time, it
this
was
incident that he was caught.
General Hospital.
Mhm.
He was taken to the mortuary, and I immediately called my editor, and we had organized all the
Okay.
support stuff. Midnight by 11:30, 12, I was in office. Then we came out with a special edition of this. By the morning paper and all, they had picked it. But only Hindu had a color photograph.
Hmm.
Others did not have anything because they could not find stories, pictures. They came out with something that it was for a wrong reason, but
I know.
I was very happy that I could come out. It's a milestone event in our
True,
history,
true, very true.
and as a photographer, I was there. So anyway, so, these things just build up my career.
Hmm.
By '95, we had to start an English paper called Trinity Mirror.
Children.
So when it was started, then my days of going out was asked to be start to be part of the editorial.
Hmm.
So since I had this reading habit, which was in Tamil and English, so when I just became a indoor person,
Yes, sir.
editorial, I had to be sitting in one place. Before that, 24 hours, I don't mind going in my bike, going for an assignment, this, that. But this was something different. But I was able to adapt because I can sit there, read.
Yes.
So that took me in this journey. Started off then by 3 4 years. My English, I think it improved. I started working on English stories and at the
Okay.
same time some Tamil news. All these things came because I had to be part of a system where I have to sit down and be stationary.
Hmm.
So I had to work to wind that time, and I loved it.
But this concept of I have not heard of any other newspaper do this, but this concept of having a Tamil newspaper as well as a English
No,
newspaper.
everyone had it. Express that Dinamani, the Express.
Now, only recently Hindu came out with
Tamil.
Tamil Hindu.
They were late, but they had other ideas. Now everyone has see you have a desk, you have an editorial, you have machines. It's all
Yes, sir.
fixed. That many people working on that.
Yes, sir.
So we might as well couple of languages. See that by the time when we noticed that in 97, 98, this proliferation of all this internet,
Mm-hmm.
the news is being given in digital form. I can read what is happening in 1996 world this Olympic event.
Mm-hmm.
There was a blast somewhere at Indian time 12:30
Mm-hmm.
p.m. and 1:20, 1:30 we were able to see the picture story
Mm-hmm.
used in color.
Okay.
So we knew that is going to be the last base for a newspaper.
Yes.
We are serving because we are practically this evening paper. We just depend on something hot news
Mm-hmm.
and Tamil paper, this vernacular regional newspaper.
Newspaper.
That will exist for some more time. But now, after all these 20 years of journey, English newspaper broadsheet, it's a dying breed, but not exactly extinct in the near future.
It's endangered.
This definitely endangered,
Yes.
and there is no one to support it or properly protect it because see when you see social media thing, 11 million subscribers, 11 million viewership. That's impossible in the newspaper world because of costs involved,
Mm.
time involved, logistics involved. Where with the social media, you just upload it. That's it. Million people can watch it in a short span. So that captured the attention of the world, and we were lagging on. We thought, "Oh, newspaper, my paper, it will survive." But slowly it was, dwindling. So Tamil and English, one of them will be accepted somewhere. So we have editions in three centers throughout Tamil Nadu. So somewhere something will be interesting, and we hope to cater to their needs.
Nice, sir. I have one more question to ask you, sir. What is, like, you would have obviously seen a set of interns, like, for people
Yeah, you
at my
were one
channel.
of our.
For people at my channel, I started interning here a year back, and it was a wonderful experience for me. But sir, you would have started this having interns process. You would have had at least like,
Yeah, yeah. See, when we started this English paper,
yes sir,
that's in 95, 96,
yes sir,
I had two students. One of that person's name is Adi. Other person, I forgot its age. They had come from Manonmani University, Tirunelveli.
okay,
See, the first thing that struck me was, you're coming all the way from Tirunelveli, where you're going to stay, we are going to live here, and they wanted some 2 months or some big, long internship.
okay.
They said university has said we have to be doing it for more than 3 months or something like that, one full semester.
Hmm.
So we had to come here, and Chennai is the only place where we have. But they tried to, all the big papers, they said, no, not for students. I don't know they are not trainees, they are interns. So every paper needs next generation.
Yes sir.
So I just can't say, no, 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 I don't want to other people to come in. I have here, as long as I am here, this organization will run. After me, it will sink, or whatever happens, I don't care. That attitude is wrong. That's what I felt. So, when next in front of me, I had seen so many journalists evolving, or some people learning some life skill. Many of them learned one skill, to sit in an office, read something, which I could do and which I could relate the importance and all that. So I just tell them to read and be happy, just see what is happening in the newspaper. Any office, same thing these days. So that was my intention since 1996, and maybe every year at least 3, 4 minimum interns would have been there. 3, 4, only 2, 3 people that wanted to work here, or I had the opportunity to give them a job opening.
Okay.
When you were here, this Karthik, he has now
Yes.
went to similar industry, but still he was one of our intern.
Okay.
Before that, 1, 2, 3 people were there. And one of my senior journalists, she was with big, it's all the Hindu Express and Times, then again back to Indian Express. Her son, he suddenly came to me for internship. And then his name is Om Jashwin. I think he is with the Express now. I wish him all the luck. He was very, very silent and not talkative or anything. He didn't show any big promises, a big communication person.
Yes, sir.
And when he was interning with us, and I was very happy to have him. And this skill was there. And his father was also a journalist.
Okay.
So both of them's genes must have been there. Still, he was very good, and then he joined Asian School of Journalism, and immediately he got a big opening with Express. And I see his name, and this is the recent success story of a intern with us. So many of them are in the electronic media in Bangalore, TV channels, and one person is in some northern state, which I can't even remember.
Okay.
Suddenly they will message me and thank me and say hi. So I love the thrill of it. Suddenly someone coming or popping
Yes,
into
sir.
me, and sir, you remember me? I was intern.
Sir, there are two questions. These you can choose which to answer. If you could, would you enter politics, or if there was no thing of like going anywhere, you could go anywhere. Who is one person you would like to work with or work under? Any, it can be a person who's dead also now. Any person.
See, politics is a different body.
Hmm.
See, people think politics is yeah, very cynical stuff, or politicians are bad. Or some people say that politician is something different breed, and yeah, I cannot be a such a person. Whatever it is, political politician
Yes, sir.
is the ultimate in this country. We
Hmm.
are democratic country.
Yeah.
You and me, as a person, as a voter, we select a thing.
Yes, sir.
And our awareness on politics is what matters, not the politician's awareness. So if I want to be the politician, I myself should know that I am a politician, that I should behave like this. I should be able to have a command over a bureaucrat who is much, much, much learned.
Hmm.
Now, is that possible? No, no. Why should a politician handle a bureaucrat? No, this is country, democracy. If a bureaucrat does not want to become a politician and rule or lay down rules, then that rules and regulations formed by the people for the people has to be handled by a politician because
True.
of the same democratic setup.
Yes, sir.
So I don't fit in there, either a bureaucrat nor a
Politician.
politician. Whatever I see, whatever I satisfied, that I would love to communicate.
Hmm.
So that is my one thing, which I'm sure I will not be good in politics or politician or a interest to that.
Hmm.
As far as whom I would have loved to work with,
Yes, sir.
I don't know, maybe some journalist. But I was fascinated by one or two people like Illustrated Weekly's Kushwan Singh.
Okay.
Not because for the wrong reasons, but his style of writing, his humor. There are some comic joke books I have of his.
Okay, sir.
96 pages of just
Jokes.
laughing. Many of them will be vulgar, filthy, all that foul language, name it, it will be there. But the way he presents it, so elegant, diplomatic, arrogant, all that will be combined in there. So I loved his writing. Maybe if I had a choice
Yes, sir.
to enter, I would have preferred him.
Okay.
Maybe. But I have not given any thought on actually about that because I was too young. I came into this. Just finished my college. Next 2 3 days, it was my father who had a printing press. So I just went there. He was shocked. He மேல படிக்கலையா? I'm done with study. I'll go with this thing and just he taught me certain things on printing. So I am very interested in the printing mechanism, mechanics, page design, all that. Then of course my inbuilt passion for reading.
Reading.
So these two put me here. If I want to do a sort of vertical thing, thinking out of the box,
Yes, sir.
it would have been a storyteller like P.G. Wodehouse,
Oh,
who I
nice.
admire his writing and his books, and maybe someone in that caliber. I would love to sit with them and really, really see how they write and how they go about sharing their experiences. That would be something lovely.
Yes. So these are the last final questions. Because you deal with the modern news as such today, we are seeing a high uprise in artificial intelligence, and a lot of dependence on artificial intelligence is done by the youth of today. So, would you have any message for the youth on how to deal with artificial intelligence and how it's coming up?
See, when you say youth,
Yes, sir.
I'm not talking about this generation or anything. This entire world from Stone Age to this day
Yes, sir.
is youthful enough.
Yes,
When
sir.
you travel to another 100 million years. So this, God willing, this globe, this planet,
Yes.
this solar system should exist, continue. See, it's a big job. Earlier, if you want to cut a tree,
Hmm.
they didn't have any instruments. Then we learned the art of making an axe.
Axe.
At that time, no one stopped us. Or if someone says, "Why you want to cut a tree?" Now we discuss why you are cutting this tree. That time he had an axe to cut to use it for some firewood requirement like cooking or for keeping yourself warm. See, human nature is to survive.
Mm.
If we are going to survive with artificial intelligence,
Yes.
their logical thinking, their way of running our life, we will survive. We will definitely survive. We have to let any intelligence to come up and then we will integrate with that. I can tell you one small example before we sign off for work.
Yes, sir.
We are in front of a laptop.
Yes, sir.
Okay, in 1988, do you know this Chess Anand?
Yes, sir.
His father was general manager of Southern Railway, Mr. Vishwanath. On his retirement day, that should have been in May or something like that. Afternoon there was a, this uh, farewell, sweet corn coffee event in Egmore,
Yes.
and we in the Egmore station. Journalists were invited. And later on, say after the coffee tea event, there was around 2:33. There were some official meetings for him because the employees were giving him a set of. So no, it's a very regal, colorful function. So they were all coming and going. The photographer and the journalist were there. They were just hanging out for something or other to happen. At around 3 o'clock, I still remember it was a late evening, not very late evening. So suddenly there was people are shouting, you know, protest.
Oh.
You know, won't believe what they were protesting. They were protesting no computers. They said no, no, computerization should not happen. We'll lose job, manpower, human resources go to waste. If at that point, it was there in the media also, national media, everyone stored it. Next day, it actually gathered mass. PNT, the Post and Telegraph. They joined railway employees. They were at that time the Moore Market complex was there, and they were all sitting there, and it was a huge mass. They were all protesting one thing: no computers.
No computers.
With sort of latest smart technology. I'm telling this. If at that day,
Yes, sir.
Government of India and other learned organizations said, no computers. Let go with human,
Manpower.
manpower. It's unthinkable. But at that time, a lot of us, youngsters, youth, or the rising generations, or the middle-aged people who are deciding so many things, it was a difficult choice. They said yes to computer. And Windows 90,
98.
Windows Win 3,
Oh, okay.
that was in 90.
Yes, sir.
And then Win 95, that was in 1995. These two set of things gave world something absolutely unimaginable stuff. Newspaper industry depending on DTP,
Yes, sir.
desktop publishing, and worldwide this book publishing. This was paper costs were going up. You have to cut trees. Paper costs were rising, and you print and give it as books. These things were costly, and that industry was actually in downturns. Music industry. You have the best musician coming out with a beautiful song. Next day, the whole world in their languages to be replicated, copied, and pirated. Movies were pirated. It was not CD or a floppy. The ideas I'm talking about. So when the computer in Win 3, that was the first of this thing, came out with the small things where you can add graphic or color or immediately you can change things, was in our hand, the PC owner's hand.
Okay.
Then when this Win 95 came, it had a set of DTPing tools. One of them is you can have more than 300, 400 types, fonts and types like italic and complete range of this thing, all inbuilt in that system. Now, DTPing suddenly jumped up and looked up and said, "You will do wonders." The designing became wonderful. The graphic designs were something different. Music industry has the same windows, the Bill Gates,
Brilliant.
not Bill Gates, Steve Jobs in the Apple system. He had come out with this music systems and all that into a small platform, so that people can use it, enjoy it. These things made us think
Yes, sir.
of the brave new world computerization can bring in. Then, of course, you know the story after 2000, the internet and
Same trend.
browsers, everything, became integrated. And let me tell this MP3 in 2004, when Steve Jobs announced that Apple is going to come out with the MP3. And in Chennai, I didn't know that there is something called the MP3 music system and all these things. Sachin Tendulkar, a cricketer,
Hmm.
he had something funny in his thing called earphone at that time because nobody goes
No.
in the thing. Though we had the small
Tape recorders.
Walkman and all that,
Yeah.
but not that small one. So sweet, cute, and some journalist was asking him, "What is it?" I have 3,000 Asha Bhosle songs. I can hear her anytime I want. That keeps me calm. And,
Oh.
he was just emerging as the god of cricket and he had to be calm. And that was unbelievable. But he was a musical lover and after nets or during nets, he'll be seeing this thing. Then only we all learned that there is a thing called the MP3 music system and all that. Then we were searched to the market, this electronic market here, like Ritchie Street and other places. It was just entering into the thing. MP3, video, all this proliferation or coming into our life just started happening. And by 2020, complete digital revolution happened. So, along with the communication. So, why I'm tracing these things, though we all know about it, is now where are we? We have to handle millions and millions and millions of informations in a very shortest time to be accurate. And this accuracy by itself has to be micro level pinpointed. For that, you need additional, like a big tree was cut by a small stone, then an axe kind of a stone, then to a real axe. Now you sit and wonder why I'm cutting tree, but it was recorded that time. And the human society, they just went along with it, co-survived. Artificial intelligence, yes, it is necessary, evil at this point. Later on, it will be necessary. Then it will be way of life, maybe. But it won't be in the same avatar what you are seeing because this is just a cave age, stone age.
So this what we see of AI right now is-
Definitely, it is nothing but stone age stuff.
Okay. So
And
we can see
earlier,
advanced stuff.
definitely, earlier in 88, 89, a computer system, Windows 3, was available to us for 5 years. The next version was Win 95. Windows 95 came 5 years. 97, Windows 97. By that time, it was with us. Then Windows 2000 was there. Then every 6 months, every updates, freely updating. All these things just seamlessly updated. It is so fast. Like that, this artificial intelligence is changing everything every week. So you see the paper, you see any media, any social media, any discussion table, everyone is talking about this. And we were all using big data and artificial intelligence like your Google Map. And the last 10, 15 years, the amount of people coming out with you and asking me from the car door opening and say, "Sir, this address, where is it?" That's
that's
excellent. Because everyone has got their own way of handling Google Map. So we were used to artificial intelligence, big data handling. That was just peaking. I mean, starting of the rise. Now we are about 3, 5, 4 year experience. I think next to speed will be very amazing because artificial intelligence can handle too many things in microseconds. Earlier we had to deal all that. It took us around 3, 4 years. Now all the 3, 4 year work will be done in a few days and few weeks. Some new product will be released.
If not a few hours.
Yeah. So this artificial intelligence is not going to be slowed down,
Yes, sir.
just penetrating into our lifestyle.
Mm.
But we have to say, like, if you wear a dress like this, at 100 years back also we were wearing some sort of dress. But now it's smarter, much more elegant, much more fitting. How did this happen? Because we're continuously upgrading or updating our technology and like that. I think tailor-made solutions for artificial intelligence to human kind,
Right.
human race by itself is going to be something
One last
big.
topic that I haven't covered, and for people who do not know this, Sir is an avid runner. He runs every day, which is something amazing because even people who are lesser your age, like somebody my age, we don't take that much effort to keep ourselves fit. So, what motivates you to?
No, no, say like you till 19, somewhere around 2004, at my age of 45
Yes,
or
sir.
46, I was, into that arena of good health,
Hmm.
fitness through exercise.
Okay.
Even till my college days, I won't have run for the bus.
Hmm.
The bus, the next bus, maybe another 10 minutes. So what? So that was my attitude that time. And after 2004, my children they were playing badminton, and I had to be taking them to the classes and then fitness.
Hmm.
Then I was bored just looking at them, so I joined them. I joined some yoga
Yeah.
tutor there, the same center where I'm going. So it just started there. My flexibility was improving, and then when I reached the 50 milestone of my age,
Yes, sir.
this diabetic
Hmm.
situation and BP situations where going to the wrong side of the spectrum.
Mhm.
So doctor said you have to do a lot of walking and this. By that time my mind was set. I can do more than that. Then in 2017, I had this opportunity to be part of a physiotherapist group,
Okay.
and it's in Kodambakkam. So she was young. So when she says we will do 20 of this, she will be ready to do all the 20 with us. A
Hmm.
coach tutor who knows that thing, they won't do it. So we will be little,
Yeah.
relaxed or do some mistake in the count and they say, hey, yes, so I have finished. She was doing and we were motivated. And one of those days she said, we'll set a target. We'll just run 5 kilometers this week. So per day, 1 kilometer, 1 day rest and all that. So first day we all ran about 6, 7 of us. And even the tutor, Dr. Radhika, she just did 2 kilometers or something. Next day, some few of us were inspired. Sir, we'll do all the five today and we'll take a rest for the week. So we finished five. And it's like third day or something like that.
Nice.
So that thrill when we came back and told, no, 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 now your bar is rise, your targets are higher. So it just went on like that, and we're comfortable. I don't do it run every day. Strengthen my legs in the fitness center.
Yes, sir.
Target is 35 kilometers a week, and at least three half a marathons a year.
Hmm.
So recently, my speed is not good, and my endurance is good. I can run all the. I'm doing it in 3 or 15 minutes. I know people who are doing it 2 or 15 minutes, 2 or 20 minutes. My age and seniors to me,
Wow.
they're 65, 70.
My goodness.
They are amazing. So seeing all that, you
Yes,
are
sir.
inspired. And
Absolutely.
going out at 4:10, your alarm wakes you up at 4:10. Going out on any day, if it is not raining,
Yes,
at
sir.
5:15, 5:30, do something or other, and then come back home by 6:37, and you have another 2 hours of. No, you don't have to do anything.
Just relax.
It's 9 o'clock. You have to be in the office. Slowly take bath, breakfast, some work or other, social
Right.
media, all these commitments. It will be done in the thing. If I didn't do that morning wake up, I'll be waking up at maybe 7
Hmm.
and relaxedly at 7:15, 7:30. Then immediately walking and all that is not
Not
possible.
possible.
So I have to take my bath, be ready by 8:30, 8:45. But with this regime, like morning pattern,
Yes,
I
sir.
find that I have a lot of time. I can read, I can watch TV, news, or whatever it is. Or have. So morning, my advice to all of you, viewers here or you,
Yes, sir.
is make sure you get up early,
Yes, sir.
enjoy the climate outside, for walk, for run, cycling, or just while go there to a park, sit under a tree, just enjoy the morning sun.
Yes, sir.
One day or other, you will be boneless in doing that. You might start walking or anything. Elderly people, they have this tendency. They take a lot of. I'm taking a lot of tablets, medicines, so I'm tired. I'll be sleepy. Yes, you will be sleepy. But once you walk, your blood from head to toe
Blood circulation.
circulates at a proper speed or whatever it is. So whatever toxins go into your body also is sweated out or thrown out as waste, and the body system is functioning properly. Maybe first 1 or 2 days will be difficult.
Okay.
So my best wishes, be healthy. I want India to be the healthiest nation, and not the wealthy, but at least the healthiest nation in this world.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much,
Thank
sir.
you, and you're doing a good job and
Thank you, sir.
going along with the digital trends. My
Yes,
best
sir.
wishes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, guys. Hope to see you soon. Take care.